How's it going? It's Ashley back. If you haven't been here, thanks for joining. Today I want to talk about hooded eyes. Hooded eyes, it is something that many of us deal with. It's part of aging, or we'll have sort of that crepey, more relaxed skin on our eyes as we start aging, and it usually continues to worsen over time. So I want to do an eyeshadow video really focusing on how do you work with that, how do you kind of, I don't know, disguise that. A lot of women think I have hooded eyes, I can't wear eyeshadow, and that is so not the case. So that's what my video today is going to be focused on, using Mascara Beauty, this palette right here, which is pretty neutral. This is a highlight color, and I'm going to use that for a few things. This is the color Cupcake, Trust, Sabrina, and Mama. So the majority of the palette's going to be right through here, and then I'm going to use this to kind of prep the lids. So what I'm going to do, because a lot of us have different colorations, I've got a little bit of my highlight from doing my face on my eyelids. I should have done my eyebrows with you, but I forgot. So I'm going to use just a little bit. This is Sunlit. It's just a nice creamy color, and I'm going to tap that on the eyelid just to, I mean, for me, you can see I've got some different colorations going right now. So I just want to neutralize that. You know, we might have some of the veins or pinkish, purplish tones that come in on our eyelids. So this just helps start with a neutral base, all the way up to the brow. So I just spread that out just to kind of prime. And then I'm going to go into also this Cupcake color, and I'm going to give it a nice powder base. So I'm just tapping in using my eyeshadow everything brush, the fluffy end, and I'm just going to give a nice neutral powdered base for that shadow to glide on. Okay, so we are ready to go. Now I want to start with Mama. So this is what I'm going to call my transitional color. So it's nice, it's soft, it's sort of the middle tone between the light and, between the two bottom colors, the light and the dark. And I'm going to tap into that color, and I'm going to start in the outer corner and just kind of swirl it. Now normally what you're going to see on eyeshadow videos is people are going to do kind of a windshield wiper motion. What we want to do with hooded eyes, to kind of give more of an open illusion, instead of coming down, you want to head towards the front of the brow and keep that color. The other tip, huge one, do not close your eyes when you're putting the shadow on. You want to keep, especially with hooded eyes, you want to keep your eyes open so you can make sure that color is going above the crease and that we can see it. So again, just kind of swirling to the outside and then not going down, going towards that brow. Okay, so it's just a really pretty kind of soft pink tone. Do that on the other eye. So kind of swirling to the outside, keeping my eyes open, and then staying up. Okay, so you have that transitional color. We can see it. It's not hidden into that crease. It's coming out across the top. Whoops, one second. Okay, now I'm going to go into, I really love, this is my blend and tap brush. I love this brush, especially with a little bit of like that looser kind of crepey skin. It really is, it's not as soft and fluffy. The ends are more dense, and you can really place that color where you want. So this end is a little bit more oval, where this one is more rounded, dome shaped. So I'm going to take that oblong end, and I'm going to tap into Trust. Okay, and I am just going to place that. So I'm going to kind of create a little C here, again starting up over that crease, and I'm just kind of tapping it in and bringing it around. Making sure, again, that I'm going up higher than that crease and only going in about halfway. So kind of keeping it to the outer corner to draw that eye upward. And you can already see the difference in the eyes and how that gave me lift on that side. just by the placement of it and keeping it kind of up and out and over that crease. Just a pretty warm brown color, which works with so much. And bringing it back in. Okay, and then that color too, I'll just kind of run a little bit along my lower lash line. Okay, now to blend that out a little bit, I like to dip back into my transitional color. So I'm just going to go back into that Mama and just kind of give this an overall blending. Just so there aren't any harsh lines. Same thing on the other eye. But again, make sure that that stays up and above. It looks like I went a little bit higher on this side, so I'm just going to touch that up here. Okay, so our next step, I'm going to go into Sabrina. So what we're kind of working towards here is having, you can see right now, you can see the Mama, you can see the Trust, and you can see sort of that gradient effect and how the colors go from light to dark, and we're not losing that. And that's what helps kind of hide that, that hooding or the overlap. So I'm going to use, this is my multitasker brush, and it's really a great brush for placing product. This end is very flat. So I'm going to go into Sabrina. This has a shimmer. So with a hooded eye, instead of putting that shimmer on the whole entire lid, I'm just going to tap in and I'm going to place that down nice and low. So what happens then when we can already see, when you open your eye, you're going to see all three colors. So you can see that. It's also, we can bring this into the inner corner just to kind of open that eye, but you're seeing it go from the lighter to the darker and up. So I'm going to do the other eye. I'm going to keep it down nice and low. Go up just a little bit, so then if you add eyeliner, you can see it. And I'm going to bring that to my inner corner as well. So we're seeing all the colors. We're not losing it. The other place, so we want to create lift. We want to create arc. So I also love, if I'm going to go back into this sunlit color. I'm going to use this same exact brush, and I'm going to tap into that. Now, instead of adding this across the whole entire brow, I'm just going to tap it right in the arc. Just to give lift. Lift, lift, lift. So tap that in, and there again you can see the difference between the two eyes. So again, I'm back into that sunlit. I'm into my cream highlight color, and I'm going to keep this right up towards that arc, and I'm just going to tap it out. Okay, so that's the shadows. You can see as I close my eyes, you can see again, you've got that gradient effect. You can see all the colors, and that really just comes down to placement and where you're putting them. And you can work with those hooded eyes. We're going to do a little bit of eyeliner. I have this, it's a NYX, NYX Professional Makeup. It's just a cream liner here, and I like it. It glides beautifully. So when we line, again, I want to keep this really tight to my lash line, so I don't want to, because I don't want to take away that effect that I was just talking about, that sort of ombre gradient effect. So when I line, I'm going to keep this color to the outside. We're only going to go about half to 2/3 of the way in, and we're going to keep it really tight to the lash line. And I don't want that darkness towards the inside. I want to keep that to the outside, and that's going to add depth to the outside, and it's going to make, you can see it makes your eyes look larger. So keep that dark color to the outside. If you choose to line on the lower, same thing. I only go in the tiniest bit just to kind of carry it through. Okay, so same thing on the other side. I'm going to keep it in nice and close. Uh-oh, a little smudge there. Well, that's what you get for putting it on an iPad. But keeping it nice and tight. Hopefully my mascara will cover up that shmush. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more trick, but I'm going to come back in 1 second with mascara on, and I'm going to show you one more trick. Oh, I do want to throw this in. If you want to do a winged eyeliner with a hooded eye again, instead of focusing on that top line and continuing that out and down to create more lift, what we want to do is kind of follow the line of that lower lash line. So when we wing that, we want to wing it up. And it'll just kind of look like an extension of your eyeliner once, or an extension of your eyelashes. What you can see that, well, you can see the difference. You can see the lift just from that one little line. So again, a continuation of that bottom lash. So just a small wing. I don't like doing big ones because that's kind of where that skin gets a little bit more relaxed. So I'll be back with mascara, and then I'm going to give you one more tip. Okay, I'm back. Just for anybody wondering, I used the Too Faced mascara. It's still my favorite, personally. Yeah, and I always will put mascara on my lower lash line. I feel like that opens up the eyes even more so. My last tip. So I'm going to use my Best Blend Forever brush, which is a great kind of light coverage brush for your face. And I'm going to use the small end. I'm still going back to those same colors. And I'm going to go back into my Sunlit. Now, sometimes that color, so this is kind of, it's a trick for more lift, but it is also a great way to clean up if your shadow comes out a little too far. So I'm just going to very lightly, I'm going to tap into that Sunlit. And I'm going to put a few dots right here. And then I'm just going to run that up. And it pulls upward. So can you see the difference from one eye to the other? Just running that lighter highlight color up and out and cleaning up that line. My eyes look different. It's crazy train. So dabbing that here, just the tiniest bit, and I'm bringing it up, pulling it up, cleaning up that shadow, and giving a little extra lift. So there we go. Hey, we work with what we got, and there are tips and tricks that are magical. Okay, if you have questions, reach out to me. I am going to put these colors in the description. If you want to shop them, I will also put the link to shop my page. But it's a fun palette, very neutral. It can go with a lot of different colors. And try tweaking what you're doing. Try switching it up a little bit and see if you have more success and less frustration. I feel like the right application helps you embrace all of our beautiful features. So thank you for watching. Mwah. Much love.